Greetings from Folklore Show, and today we are looking at the concept of blood. I'll briefly just explain something to do with blood groups and rhesus factors, why it matters. Have you ever looked at your blood type and wondered, what does the plus or minus mean? You might know your blood group A, blood group B, blood group AB or O. But what about the rhesus factor? The little symbol can mean a lot, especially when it comes to things like blood transfusions, pregnancy, and medical emergencies. Very important. And in this video, we are breaking down everything you need to know about blood groups and rhesus factor, also known as RH factor. Whether you are just curious or studying medicine, stay tuned. You are about to learn something essential about your body. I start with the ABO blood group system. Your blood type is determined by the presence or absence of specific antigens on the surface of your red blood cells. And maybe to use a simpler term, we'd say that antigens are special proteins. Antigens are like tags that your immune system uses to identify what's part of your body and what isn't. Basically, we have two main antigens in the ABO system. We have the A antigen and the B antigen. And here is how it works. We plainly say that if you have A antigens, then you have type A blood. And if you have B antigens, you have type B blood. If you have both, that is antigen A and antigen B, then we say you have type AB blood. If you have neither, then you have type O blood. This is simply right, but we are not yet done yet. There is one more critical factor, what we are referring to as the rhesus factor. And what is the rhesus factor? The rhesus factor or RH factor is another protein found on red blood cells, and it was discovered around 1940s during research on rhesus monkeys, hence the name rhesus factor. If your blood cells have this protein, you are considered rhesus positive. And if your blood cells lack this protein, you are considered rhesus negative. So then, we would say your complete blood type could be as follows. Either your blood group A positive if you have the rhesus factor, blood group A negative if you don't have the rhesus factor, blood group B positive if you have the rhesus factor, blood group B negative if the rhesus factor is not there, blood group AB positive if the rhesus factor is present, blood group AB negative if the rhesus factor is absent. And then we have finally blood group O positive if the rhesus factor is present. And then blood group O negative if the rhesus factor is absent. So in simple, we are saying we have in total 8 possibilities of blood groups combined with the rhesus factor. This small detail plays a major role in blood transfusions and pregnancy health. Why blood type matching matters? Your immune system is designed to protect you. If you receive the wrong type of blood, especially with the wrong rhesus factor, your body might treat it as dangerous invader. For example, if a rhesus negative person receives rhesus positive blood, their immune system can develop antibodies to attack it. And this reaction can be mild, severe, or even life-threatening. That's why hospitals and blood banks are extremely careful when matching blood donors with recipients. And here is a quick tip. O negative blood is known as the universal donor. It has no A, B, or antigens, so it's less likely to trigger a reaction. But then at the unfortunate part of it, O negative donor can only receive blood from an O negative. Whereas it is very advantageous for O negative donor to give to everyone, when it comes to now benefiting, it means this person can only receive blood from O negative donor. Then we have AB positive is the universal recipient, because it already has all the antigens and it won't see any donated blood as foreign. Then we move on to the rhesus factor in pregnancy. The rhesus factor becomes even more important during pregnancy. Let's say a woman is rhesus negative, but her baby is rhesus positive, having inherited the rhesus factor from the father. This difference can create problems, and especially during childbirth, when the baby's blood might mix with the mother's. The mother's immune system could recognize the rhesus positive blood as a threat and start producing antibodies. While this usually doesn't affect the first pregnancy, these antibodies can attack the red blood cells of future rhesus positive babies, leading to a serious condition called hemolytic disease of the newborn. And this is where the myth is. Sometimes we have had people getting the firstborn, and then probably they end up getting married, and then from there you find that all the other children are having complications. This is because with the first pregnancy, the immune system of the mother, who has a rhesus negative blood, has not recognized or has not sensitized to treat even the babies as foreign. But this condition can be treated if earlier known. Thankfully, there is a medical solution. We call it ROGAM. This injection helps prevent the mother from forming those harmful antibodies. In other words, we have an injection which is given at least before the mother gives birth and during birth, to make sure that the mother's immune system does not form those harmful antibodies. It's a great example of understanding blood types and can literally save lives. Then, in summary, we look at blood types and genetics. your blood type is inherited from your parents, just like your eye color or height. Here is how it works. The APO genes come from a combination of one gene from each parent. The rhesus factor is also inherited, and the gene for rhesus positive is dominant, which means even if you inherit even one rhesus positive gene, you'll be rhesus positive. For example, two rhesus negative parents can only have a rhesus negative child. But if one parent is rhesus positive, there is a chance the child could be either rhesus positive or rhesus negative, depending on the gene combination. Also, blood type distributions vary around the world. For example, rhesus negative is more common in people of European descent, about 15%, but very rare in other populations. Why is knowing your blood type important? Knowing your blood type isn't just trivial, it's critical in emergencies. If you are either injured or need surgery, doctors must know your blood type before giving you a transfusion. Also, if you decide to donate blood, knowing your type helps blood banks match you with people who need it most. And for people who are pregnant or planning a family, knowing your rhesus status can help prevent complications and keep both mother and baby safe. So the next time someone asks you your blood type, you know exactly what that plus or minus stands for and why it matters. If you found this video helpful, give it a like, subscribe for more science content, and share it with someone who's always been curious about blood types. In summary, I would say that we have had serious problems and myths, and especially during pregnancies, where someone got the firstborn, but the subsequent children are having complications and even dying when the rhesus negative or positive aspect is not well understood. To avoid future complications, let us stay informed. Thank you so much, and continue subscribing to our channel.